Charlie 4, Charlie Golf Yankee. The name is Larry. I talked to you before, I believe it was last Friday, maybe or the Friday before. And you helped me out with audio. And say hello, and I appreciate the help. And if you could give me a signal report, I'm trying out a new antenna this evening, Roger.
Roger. Now, let me review your call sign, because I was in the midst of trying to pull you out. And I pulled you out down in Georgia. I was up in Milford, Pennsylvania, and I finally found you down in Georgia. But I have Kilo Charlie 4 Charlie Golf Yankee. Is that a Roger?
I have Kilo Charlie 4 Charlie Golf Yankee. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Already, and what's the name there?
Already, and what's the name there?
The name is Larry, Lima, Alpha, Romeo, Yankee.
Roger, Larry. And where are you located, sir?
Roger, Larry. And where are you located, sir?
I am located in Covington, Georgia. Roger.
Ah, that's why my Atlanta SDR popped up so well. And Larry, what radio are you running today, sir?
SDR popped up so well. And Larry, what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, it's a Kenwood Tango Sugar 590 Sugar Golf.
590 Sugar Golf, Roger. Tango Sugar 590 Sugar Golf.
Sugar Golf, Roger. Tango Sugar 590 Sugar Golf.
Roger. Kenwood TS-590SG. Roger.
All right, Larry. So we have worked with before on your on this radio. Is that a Roger?
We have worked with before on your on this radio. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger. I believe it was last Friday. You helped me out before the net, actually. And later on, I contacted you after the net, and we did a recording, and I listened to it, and it sounded great. However, at that time, I was running a different antenna, and you gave me a signal report of 10 or 12 over on your local antenna. So, using now. Go ahead.
So I just went to my local antenna, and you were banging away there. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and I'll run through my local antennas, Roger?
Okay, Roger. Yeah, I was running a homebrew 80-meter, 40-meter dipole that I made myself, and I switched that out, and the antenna that I'm running now is called a Ultimax D-Extreme. The Ultimax D-Extreme, the 100 version. So 66-foot in-fed wire with a transformer on it. Go ahead.
Roger, Larry. Well, you know, the way I do it is I have such a low front end RF gain-wise in the receiver that I'm actually using the white noise as a S meter reading when you, in other words, I have a VU meter and I'll set 0 level on your peaks, and then when you cease transmitting, the only thing left is noise. So, and that's what I would give as a noise, as a reading. You would be like a 12 over my noise level. And I had somebody doing a great tune-up procedure. I don't know, and I wish they would take it 5 up, 5 down, or somewhere other than tuning up on an active frequency. And that's not very polite to do, but so I had that tone in there, and the tone was down around -10. So you were good to -10 for sure. It fell back to the tone. If the tone wasn't in there, I'm not sure. You know, so I can't really say for sure if there was a gain from where you were the last time we talked or not. But you know, you are very readable, Roger.
Roger, yeah, I was just kind of looking for a reference, you know, as to how I was making it up there to your QTH. So I appreciate the information there and the QSO, and hello to everyone else that might be on the net, and we'll stand by and listen for someone else to get in there, and maybe you could help them out. KC9VKV, KC4CGY.
Roger, Larry. Stand by just a moment. If that guy tuning would just back off for just a minute, I'll tell you what the noise level is.
Yeah, I can barely hear him here on my end.
Well, I can barely hear him down on my Georgia SDR too, but I'm trying to get you a level on my local antenna like we did last. So let me see where he is. Well, he's down around minus 15 now, so you're good to like minus 13. You're about 13 dB above my noise level, Roger. So I would say, you know, what you can't really, you know, you have to take into consideration yesterday versus today, propagation-wise, or last week, or whatever. But you sound really good, sir. That's about what I can say to you.
Roger. Well, you know, that's good in my book. At least I didn't do anything that would make it any worse than what it was. It is at least as good as it was, or hopefully it'll be better. And like you say, propagation does play a big part in all of this. Appreciate it, Jim.
Yes, sir, Larry. Now, the best way is never destroy an old antenna. Keep where you were, and enjoy where you are, and get yourself an A-B switch that you can go back to where you were and up to where you are. And then you can compare those back and forth, you know, and without being able to compare where you were with where you are, you know, you don't know where progress is. So it's very important that you keep that old antenna as you build a new antenna, and then get you an A-B switch so you can switch back and forth. That's the only way you can truly know which way you're going, you know, because you're comparing those two antennas in real time, and you can compare them and receive. That's what I'll do a lot, and you know, look and see which one is hotter as far as the incoming signal. And 2 to 1, that antenna will be hotter in transmit back to where you're coming from. You know, because usually channels are reciprocal, and if the signal's hotter on one antenna in receive, that same antenna will be hotter in transmit. Roger.
Roger, yeah, that's a good point. Well, I definitely have the old antenna. I have not destroyed it. I did roll it up, and I have not destroyed it. I did roll it up, and I've got it put in my stash there of other antennas that I've created over the years. My problem at this point is I only have one piece of coax coming into the shack here, so I would have to make some arrangements to take care of that. But definitely a good point, and I will keep that in mind, and hopefully one day I can accomplish that. KC9VKV, KC4CGY.
Roger, Larry. Yes, and you go ahead, and if you know, can you get you another piece of coax there, get that other antenna, and you know also that one antenna usually sees things a little bit different than the other antenna, particularly if they're juxtaposed, one east and west, one north and south, or whatever, and you will always get a second opinion on a second antenna. And sometimes that second antenna can be 10 dB hotter than the other antenna. The whole thing is have the right antenna at the right place at the right time. So the name of the game is options. So you want to have at least 2 options, you know, where you think you are and where you think you were, and then you compare those, Roger, and see which one is more, you know, hotter than the other, Roger.
See which one is more, you know, hotter than the other, Roger.
Roger. Well, the old antenna was running north and south, and this antenna is running southwest. So I'm not sure if that makes a difference or not, but I'm sure the way it bounces off the lobe would definitely key a factor in there, Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, if you've ever seen propagation drawings of how a horizontal wire radiates broadside to the wire, you know, I'm not sure I accept all of that, but I do accept the premise that a long wire radiates broadside to the wire, and I know it doesn't radiate off the ends, so it has to radiate somewhere. So 2 to 1, it's going to radiate off the broadside, you know. So if you have, you know, when you go to put that other antenna up, you might as well just put it up, you know, 90 degrees to the other antenna, so they are, you know, just opposed to each other, and you have one that's like north and south and one that's east and west, and you can use those to switch back and forth. That would give you the best comparison between those 2 antennas, you know, and you'll find that you know, if one might not be hot, the other one would, you know, and vice versa.
be hot, the other one would, and vice versa.
Roger. Well, if I put the old antenna back up where it was, it would definitely be running 90 degrees off of the one that I'm talking on now. So I will definitely take a look at that and put that into work. It's all about having fun, Roger.
Yes, sir. It's all about options. The more receive options you have, the better off you are. And if if you're swapping your transmit antenna at the same time, there you go. So, like in my situation, I'm always transmitting on my horizontal dipole antenna. Always transmitting on my dipole, but I have 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops for receive also. One and I run them as a scanner. One is at 0 degrees, and one is 90 degrees to that, and the other is at 136 degrees. So I have pretty much all angles covered in my 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, Roger.
Angles covered in my 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, Roger. Okay, Roger. And I'm still running 100 watts. I'm only running 100 watts, running barefoot with this radio here. The best it'll put out there. So I absolutely understand where you're coming from.
Yes, sir. And I will post this up by noon tomorrow. And you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you directly to this recording. And again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. 73, Larry, and we'll catch you later, sir. Have a good afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.